Welcome to today's episode. Let me start with a question. Have you ever walked out of a meeting, a conversation, or even a family dinner, shaking your head and thinking, am I really surrounded by idiots? Psychologist and communication expert Thomas Erikson has an interesting answer. In his best-selling book Surrounded by Idiots, he argues, most people aren't actually idiots, they're just different. They see the world through a different lens. And if we don't understand that lens, communication feels impossible. This book takes us into the fascinating world of 4 personality colors, red, yellow, green, and blue, and shows us how to decode human behavior, reduce conflict, and build stronger connections. So stay with me until the end, because by the conclusion of this episode, you'll see why the people you once thought were difficult might actually be predictable, understandable, and even easier to deal with than you ever imagined. Erikson simplifies human behavior into 4 colors. Red, the dominant leader. Bold, decisive, competitive. Reds like to take control, move fast, and get results. But they can also come across as aggressive or impatient. Yellow, the optimistic visionary. Energetic, talkative, creative. Yellows are the life of the party, full of enthusiasm and ideas. But they may struggle with focus or follow-through. Green, the calm supporter. Patient, loyal, reliable. Greens are great listeners and team players. But they dislike change, avoid conflict, and may resist new ideas. Blue, the analytical thinker. Precise, logical, detail-oriented. Blues are perfectionists who thrive on data and structure. But they can seem critical, cold, or overly cautious. Each of us has a mix of these colors, but usually 1 or 2 dominate. The beauty of this system is how quickly it makes sense of people's behavior. Imagine this, you're in a meeting. A red wants to move fast. A blue keeps asking for more data. A yellow is brainstorming out loud. A green is sitting quietly, uncomfortable with the tension. Suddenly, everything clicks. You're not surrounded by idiots, you're surrounded by colors. Here's the secret. Conflicts don't usually happen because people are stupid. They happen because we expect others to think like us. Reds get frustrated with greens for being too slow. Blues lose patience with yellows who seem all talk, no action. Yellows think blues are boring. Greens feel overwhelmed by red's intensity. Sound familiar? Erikson's model helps us reframe this. Instead of seeing the other person as wrong, we learn to see them as different. And once you do that, arguments turn into opportunities for better communication. The real power of Surrounded by Idiots isn't just labeling people, it's learning how to adapt. Talking to a red. Be direct, fast, and confident. Skip the small talk, get to the point. Talking to a yellow. Be enthusiastic. Show energy. Let them share ideas. Talking to a green. Be calm, patient, and reassuring. Don't pressure them. Talking to a blue. Bring facts, details, and logical structure. The more flexible you are, the more effective you become. Communication is not about changing who you are, it's about speaking in a way the other person understands. Think of it this way, if you travel abroad, you try to speak the local language. Why not do the same in human interaction? Every strength can turn into a weakness. Erikson warns us about the pitfalls of each color. Reds can become controlling, aggressive, or arrogant. Yellows can get lost in dreams and forget reality. Greens can resist change and avoid decisions. Blues can drown in analysis and miss opportunities. The intelligent communicator doesn't just spot these in others, he spots them in himself. Knowing your own weaknesses is just as important as understanding others. Here's where the book gets really practical. With practice, you can learn to spot a person's color in just a few minutes. Notice how fast they talk. How much energy they show. Do they focus on ideas, people, details, or results? For example, A person who storms into a meeting, takes charge, and talks about results. Probably a red. Someone who wants data, asks precise questions, and corrects details. Likely a blue. Someone who spends most of the time listening, nodding, and avoiding conflict. A green. Someone who tells stories, cracks jokes, and bounces around with ideas. That's a yellow. It's like unlocking a code. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So how do you actually use this in your daily life? In business, adapt your sales pitch or negotiation style to the other person's color. In leadership, build teams with a mix of colors, so you balance energy, logic, stability, and drive. In relationships, stop expecting your partner to act like you, and start appreciating their unique strengths. In parenting, recognize your child's dominant color and adjust how you guide them. The result? Less conflict, more trust, and deeper understanding. Surrounded by Idiots isn't just a book about psychology, it's a survival guide for everyday life. It teaches us that people aren't impossible, they're just different. And once you master the language of colors, you stop fighting against others and start working with them. So let me leave you with this question. The next time you feel frustrated in a conversation, will you assume you're surrounded by idiots, or will you recognize that you're surrounded by colors? If this summary gave you a new way of seeing people, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with the name of the next book you'd like to see summarized. Who knows? Your suggestion might be the star of our next episode.